All right, Kristen,
All right, Vic.
now hear me out. I know we're huge fans of J. Cole's here on this podcast,
Yes, yes, yes.
so I figured, let's do a little J. Cole ranking.
I'm
He's
down.
got a
I'm down.
his we'll do all the way from the sideline story to the off season. So no mixtapes or anything like that. So there's six. I'll go ahead and list the six albums. 2014 Forest Hill Drive, the off season, KOD, the sideline story, For Your Eyes Only, and Born Sinner.
Yep.
So you guys listening at home, play along. Let us know how you think.
Yes.
Our rankings aren't gonna match. They might be a little off. I mean, I don't think they'd be too far off, honestly.
And I am
But
here for the smoke. If you don't agree, I want to hear it. I want to know why. But I'm ready. But
okay,
for number six, Vic, I think we could both agree on this one. I'm gonna start from six and go up. All right.
all right,
So from
okay,
six, I love this album. This is one of my personal favorites, but I know that how people feel about it, and that's For Your Eyes Only. I think that's
yeah,
a given number six out of the six albums. I love it. I love the storyline of it. I love just how it is. But it was a very different vibe for J. Cole, and it kind of was that thing that kind of like everybody just didn't understand. He was telling about
hmm
it was just about the death of a friend, and he basically dedicated the album to him and his little girl, and he basically told that story that his friend wants to, come out. But man, talk about the classics on that album alone. If you like that album, shoot, what we got on here? You got For Your Eyes Only. First of all, it's already an amazing song. It's a 8 minute long song or 6 minute, yeah, 8 minute 50 seconds long song, and it talks about literally the whole like experience he had with his friend and
hmm
all the stuff that his friend went through, how the system kind of goes against you and all that good stuff. Um,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. For me, like, for the album, like I kind of agree with you everything you're saying. There's a couple songs on there where you just kind of like, if they come up, you're like, maybe not to the next J Cole song.
Yeah,
But he does have some hits on there, Immortal,
neighbors.
Deja Vu,
The neighbors
Neighbors,
think I'm
Bio
selling dope.
Metallica, Folding
Selling
Clothes,
dope.
bro. I love that song too.
Oh yeah, folding clothes is amazing. It's
But
a
yeah,
vibe. It's definitely a vibe
it's a
for
vibe.
sure.
Yeah, it's a different vibe than the typical J. Cole, but there's definitely some songs on there that you ain't skipping those songs.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, so that's my
Um,
number six. What are you giving for number five? I got to hear what you're gonna say for number five.
my number five, ooh, I think, and honestly, I'm not too sure how other people are gonna agree. Might be a little low, but I think I'm gonna have to put Born Sinner at number five.
Born Center. Oh wow, I'm shook. I'm shook, bro.
I don't know, I don't know, maybe I got into the J. Cole a little late because I know this is one of his earlier ones.
Uh huh.
Um,
I understand
it
that.
kind of puts, I don't know, because looking at the playlist right now, or
Mm-hmm.
not the songs on the album, I'm just like, there's that one, Power Trip obviously is a good one. Forbidden Fruit, Kendrick Lamar, Crooked Smile, Born
Yeah,
Sinner.
bro, you're saying like some very iconic songs that
I
people
know
still
this,
listen to today.
no,
I want you to realize what you're saying.
but I think the one other reason I'm kind of saying that is because there is 21 songs on there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like,
You need
I don't
more?
know.
Not enough.
No, what I'm saying, I'm almost thinking that that's too much because a lot of his newer ones they like have 10 or um yeah 10, 12, 12, 13. So I think that's kind of what the thing does for me because there's so many songs, it's kind of hard. Um, that's just my opinion though. What's your number? Well, how do you
Mm.
feel about my ranking of that, and
I,
what
I
is your
I
number five?
understand where you're coming from because that is like early, early on the set of Jermaine Cole.
Hmm.
But like I really enjoyed that album. Um, but I understand. I'm not gonna say anything about it, but I do think there are very iconic songs in there that's literally people like are listening to today. And if you pull up J.
Yeah.
Cole, it's like those are some of the songs you're pulling up for sure. Crooked Smile is always in the rotation.
Hmm.
Forbidden Fruit is gonna be in there. Um, what's it? Power Trip. Oh my goodness, Power Trip is gonna be on there.
Hmm.
So it's like it's very. very iconic songs on here.
Yeah, I know it's not like a spoiler or anything because obviously it's springtime, but like you know, the Sideline Story came out in 2011. I feel like this for me, I like there's a lot of songs on there that
That you like.
I like his older stuff. It's just I don't know. For me, I just
I
maybe
understand
it's
that.
too many songs.
Got you. My number five, surprisingly, and I love this album. I know you remember.
Yeah, we love all albums,
I jumped out
honestly.
to this album a lot. My number five is KOD. Now,
That was,
KOD was an amazing album, and when it came out, I was like, "This shit banging," and it was a different style of J. Cole and the way he was. It was this was his album that I wouldn't say it was a throwaway album for him because he was just like, "Hey, I just want to show you niggas that I could do this too," and it was like a mixture of all different styles, and he
hmm
was like, "Yeah, you guys can rap fast. I can rap fast also. You can flip this beat and stuff like that. I can do that also." And it was like I'm doing what you guys can do, and I can still make it hit. And that's why I ranked it number five. It's a great album, but it wasn't like J. Cole, J. Cole, if that makes
hmm
sense.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there is some songs on there that I just love, but at the same time, I feel like for me at least, I'm looking at the plate like the songs. I don't know if there's any songs that you would say, oh, that's a classic J. Cole song, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't really have any like classics. And if you're into this, if you're into the album, you're into the album. But you're not you're not really have too much on this playlist that you're gonna just throw into his like rotation. If you have a top 10 J. Cole songs, you're not throwing these in there.
Yeah, definitely not.
Maybe the only one that might make it is KOD.
hmm I mean, yeah, I mean, Kevin Hart was good photography, but I don't think they're the top 10 J. Cole songs. I love the the last song, 1985.
Yeah,
That's always a good one.
that's a great song.
But yeah, I definitely see your ranking there because, like you said, there's nothing really iconic or iconic songs on there. It's a little different from him, which kind of brings me to my next ranking. I feel like this is definitely gonna be my number four.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going based off what you like. Also, what you said, I do like the fact the KLD how it kind of has different meanings.
Uh huh.
Um, so it kind of left it open to interpretation and stuff like that. Um, I love kind of the intro. Just I kind of like his message in this one, but
Yeah,
also I get what you're saying. Like, the rapping style on these songs are different.
a lot
Um,
different. A lot different.
mhm. So I'm put that one at number four for me.
Okay, okay. My number four was Born Sinner. Um, and the kind of same reason that you're saying, like I love the songs on it, and it has very lot of iconic songs, but like in the level of where that album just kind of like landed for me. It was like I can't put this one over the other ones that I thoroughly enjoy for its own reasons. It has a
hmm
lot of remember songs, like you said before, and we talked about earlier, and that's it's just where it lands right now. Is number four.
No, I get you. I get you. You want to throw out your number three?
Yeah, my number three. Vic might not like me for this one, but my number three was Sideline Story. A lot of iconics. Talking about iconic
I
songs.
could see
This is
that.
J
No,
Cole
yeah.
coming out in Cold World, and his introduction to the world. Lights, please. It's just
Solid.
it's an amazing album, and
Miss
it's
Nice
like
Watch.
it's his come up album,
Somebody
and
perfect.
it's like I love the album,
Work
and
out.
bro, he's just like I'm just gonna go through all the songs. It's a great album, bro, but it's just my number three. Like the other two are just I don't know, man. Those two do something to me. I'll go back. I'll listen to some of these songs in rotation, but I'm not going back to these songs too much as the other ones.
Mm, I feel
Personally,
you.
personally.
I feel you. I'm looking at songs right now. I'm kind of struggling a little bit, honestly. Uh,
Lights, please turn off the lights. Ain't
see,
just right.
in the morning, Lost One, bro. Lost Ones, bro.
It's a classic, bro. It's a
That's a
classic.
classic. Nobody's perfect. Rise and shine. God's gift.
Look at you.
Okay, well, as much as I was thought we were gonna agree there, I think there's gonna be a little discrepancy here.
I assume
I don't
you're
know how
going.
you.
I feel like you're going to go with the off season.
like exactly where I'm going.
I understand.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I love the off season too, and but just looking at the songs, I think I'm gonna have to give the edge to the other album.
I
So
understand.
I'm gonna have to put the off season three. I love on this one. Obviously, he's done more features on this one, which is something I do love. I mean, obviously, I kind of also like the fact that he didn't do features and had all these hits. But going into the features, I mean, I feel like all the features on this one were pretty good. You got
Oh,
21
most
Savage
definitely.
on My Life, you got Lil Baby and Pride of the Devil. So I feel like it's I mean, we're at the point where they're neck and neck, essentially to me at least, and it's hard to go wrong. But I'm the thing I have to stick off season at number three.
Okay. Hey, I'm here for it. I understand now. Um, I'll talk about off season where it lands for me when it comes to it. Number two, what do you got, Vic? These last two are hard. I know it's gonna be
These sounds
hard.
too hard. Uh, ooh,
I feel like we're gonna agree on number one though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, with that being said, number two, I'm gonna have to put the Sideline Story.
Yep.
I've said everything I want kind of about that one. It's a great song. It's an older,
It got
older J.
hits,
Cole.
bro. It got
It got
hits.
it got some hits. So I'm about to listen to it after this
he's,
podcast.
he's like, actually, let me play some right now.
But yeah, so I'm guessing that puts your number two.
My number two is the off season. I love the older J. Cole mindset and the rap flow and like he's like I'm on my shit type of thing right then and there. Bro, when I go through a lot of these albums, like I love a lot of like even you talking about which one did you say? You said Sideline Story? Sideline Story.
Hmm.
I go through this album, I'm like, okay, cool, it has a lot of hits, but it's not an album that I would say has no skips for me. Um, the I just feel like for me, I'm not KO. The off season literally has like I'm looking at this album, bro, and I'm just like I don't I can go through this whole album and don't even know that I went through the whole album. For me personally, like I go through it and I'm like, dang, it's over already. And which is a short album too,
I
which I
will say it
think
is a
that's
short album.
it's a 12-song album, which also kind of like I feel like he had shoot once you get older too, I feel like there's less stuff you can rap about. But the fact that he
Hmm.
put out a banger, these songs are bangers, bro, and he just put them out like back to back, and it's just like, bro, it keeps you in. Like when I'm listening to the album, I can listen to the album all the way through. I know the next song coming up. I don't want to hit skip, and it's just one of those amazing albums for me. So that's why it's my number two. But
Not.
go ahead, go
I
ahead.
get you. I get you. Do you feel like I don't think there is for you, but necessarily, but do you see any like recency bias to why you rank this one higher, or probably not?
Biases.
Like just because
Um,
it came out the latest, like what came out like not that long ago, as opposed to the other albums.
no. Only because whenever I do listen to J. Cole, it's usually this album. It's not really
Hmm.
just because it's the latest. It's just the one I enjoy the most at right now. Um, I'll listen to some OJ Cole and stuff too, but this one's just been hidden. And maybe it is because it's the newest and it just has that still new sound and stuff. But I do like what he talks about sometimes. So it's just a different message, and for him
I
to
do,
still
yeah.
be like putting out this amazing content at such a late time in his career. This was an amazing album. It was just amazingly put together. He didn't overload it with songs he didn't really care about. It was like he put the project together perfectly the way he wanted to. It was just it built it off itself. The only downfall about the album is that he had released like 3 songs before it came out, and it's already a 12-song album. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. So when he did that, it was just like, dang, I wish it was a little bit longer. But it kind of gave you like when I finished it, it was kind of like that sense of I want more. Um,
Hmm.
and
And
so
then yeah, like obviously the songs he released, they were good songs, but it's
they're
like
amazing songs.
that's because there's some artists, they're coming out with the album, they release like their best songs, like you listen to the album, like man, that was the only good song on there, the ones
Yeah,
you released before. I feel like that was not the case for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interlude
also,
was amazing. I don't get me wrong
yeah.
that, but when we heard 95 South, and then you hear Amari, and then it said my
Oh,
life,
bro, the
bro.
first,
That first three right
the
there,
first three,
that
bro.
shit just pulls you in. And he's just like, bro, and then it's like applying pressure. Same ancestor. I was just like, bro, you can't. And then it's
Bro, and
just
then
like it layers
the
perfectly.
the transition in Pride is the Devil with Lil Baby.
Yes,
I
bro.
love that transition.
Bro, I can't do this right now. Like it's that album is just amazingly put together.
Hmm.
Hey, look, I said what I had to say. I love the album. If you don't, I understand, but that's one of the albums that just hit for me.
Yeah, I totally get you. Also, I mean, little side note, great to see in concert. It was
Oh yeah,
amazing.
yes.
Well, I guess that leaves us with both our number one, which I mean, no surprise honestly here, right? I
Not at
mean,
all.
I think this is almost.
2014 Forest Lane. Oh my god, talk
I,
about classics, bro.
I feel like everyone, like any J Cole fan, is probably gonna rank this one number one. Honestly, we got Wet Dreams, Tell Two Cities, '03, A- Adolescence, right? Fire Squad, Geo. Oh, bro,
I
this
tell
whole
it two
album.
cities. You can't just skip a tell it two cities.
I
That's
did say
amazing.
no, I skipped. Went from Wet Dreams to Tell Two Cities and back, so kind of,
Okay.
but I did mention it. Fire Squad, Saint Troops, GOMD, No Role Models, Hello, Apparently,
This
Love
is
Yours,
literally another no skip album, bro. And
literally.
it was just one of the like two albums where it's just man, he came on this is the one right here. I feel like this really like solidified J. Cole and
Hmm.
like the role of some of the greats because it was like this album was so iconic and how he was just even Fire Squad and he was firing shots at people like all the rappers and stuff. It was like man, J. Cole ain't never do this. So you know what I mean? It was just oh man, it's just a great freaking production. And yeah, if you are a J. Cole fan, you know for sure 2014 is probably
Hmm.
gonna be your favorite.
Bro, I feel honestly like '03 Adolescence, bro, that sounds like it's up there for me, honestly. Like that's one of my favorite songs. Um,
You like adolescence? I'm just playing.
yeah. I mean, but all
um,
these songs are really good. Like, I mean, there's at least a handful of like are probably in your top 10, if not more, like of J. Cole songs overall.
mhm.
So Love Yours, and I know you love that song, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of my favorite. But
GOMD.
and
God.
for all the real J Cole fans out there, I understand we only talked about six. These are the only six they have on Spotify.
And it's funny because my journey kind of into J. Cole was my freshman year of college.
Yeah, because he got the free show to freaking J Cole. I'm so
He
upset.
J. Cole came to UNC, got them free tickets, waited in line so I can kind of like it's funny because like it was a free concert. And I knew J. Cole a little bit because of Workout and I forgot what other one. Um so I was like, you know what? It's a concert. Let me just try to get up to the front. So I wait in line so we could be like toward in the little, I guess, pit area.
Hmm.
So we're pretty close. I mean, a lot of pushing and shoving. We got pushed back a little bit, but
Of course,
uh,
to be expected.
and then ever since then, like I don't know, he's been hidden. And then me and you, been to two other concerts. Um, which was the first one? For Your Eyes Only, right?
Yeah, for your
Yeah.
eyes only. But he
Hmm.
came out in the handcuffs.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, that was a great album. And the Off Season was another great album. I don't know how we skipped KOD, right? Because was that in
Um,
between? Yeah, that was in between.
yeah, it was in between, but I think we skipped it for a totally different reason. I don't know. I think the KLD tour happened, and it's just wasn't that in 2020, like around that time?
Well, the album came out in 2018.
That was 2018. I don't know why we skipped that one.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe it just didn't like pique our interest that much.
All right.
At
But
least
anyway,
not enough to go to a concert for. It still seemed like it was a lit concert though. I've
I'm
seen
sure
it.
any concert he has, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
But
our Go ahead, Vic. Go ahead.
no, I was literally gonna say what you're about to say. So you,
Yeah. So that's our ranking from all of J. Cole's albums. Man, I hope we spent the whole 20 minutes on that. So hey, it's J. Cole. We can't get away from that. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below. How do you feel about our ranking system? Who do you feel like, where would you rank those 6 albums from your greatest to least favorite? And just let us know.
Let us know if you just hate J. Cole overall.
Yeah, and
Man.
give us 5 good reasons why you hate J. Cole. So, hey, that's just us. That's just me. That's just Vic. I know we both had our own little opinions, but for the most part, we got our top album is right
Yeah.
there. I understand where Vic comes from on what he's saying, and just like I'm pretty sure he understands where I'm coming from. So, hey,
Well, our bookends are the same.
right. It doesn't matter about what's in the middle. But yeah, other than that, you got anything else to say on that, Vic?
No, just J. Cole for life, bro.
Hey, I can't wait. Hopefully, put out another album. I think he's gonna come out of retirement.
I hope so.
He's coming
But we'll
out.
see how it
Shoot,
goes.
he's over here rapping on everybody else's albums. Might as well make another one. You
Right.
know, put out 32 features since he put out that saying since he announced his retirement. So, but other than that, you ready to get the podcast started?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, bet. Getting the podcast started in 3, 2, 1. What up, everybody? This is your boy Chris.
This is Vic.
And welcome to Now Hear Me Out. It's episode number 81, and welcome to the podcast. If you're listening now, make sure you click on that like and subscribe button and click on that bell notification so every time we post, you get notified. So, Vic, updates.
Yeah, pretty not too much has happened this week. On Saturday, we decided to kind of go out to one of the bars down in Deep Ellum for a friend's birthday, which this friend, shout out to Jennifer. She's not really much of a, well, I don't know.
Clubber?
She doesn't go out that much, like to the clubs and the bars and stuff. This is literally like her second time. So it was fun, bringing her out, because she seemed to really enjoy herself. So, it seemed we all had a good time. We did. It was one of those bars where you have to wait outside in the line. It's kind of cold. We got in line around like 11:30. We're just waiting, and this line's slowly moving. You see people kind of skipping the line, slipping the 20 or whatever to the bouncer, and then he's letting them in, or you see these, females getting let in. You know how it kind of goes.
Yeah.
So this line's moving pretty slow.
There's always
Around
exceptions.
around 12:15, we get let in. We're like, oh, finally, thank God. Then we're about to go upstairs. There's another bouncer at the bottom of the stairs. He's like, you have to wait at the bar. We're not letting people up right now. Like, why the fuck did you let us in there? Because it was one of those bars. It's like a restaurant down below and like a bar up top, kind of, or like it turns into a bar at night, whatever. But the bottom one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So like keep letting people in. They're like, oh, stop! They keep stopping people. And then kind of the same thing again, where like you see people kind of talking to this bouncer at those stairs, and they let them up, or the females getting let up. Uh, it's just we were just kind of waiting there for a good while. The guy even told us, okay, 12:30 was when we start letting people up. We didn't get up there until about 12:50.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
The bar closes at 2, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, which kind of sucked, but it was we still had a good time. Pretty packed, a lot of pushing, shoving. You know how bar scenes go. Uh,
I hate it.
we don't. It's not. We don't really do as much. Like back in the day, we used to do it all the time. But yeah, it's kind of for. I think we talked about this before, where it's kind of like fading out of our scene. But it's still good to go every now once in a while. And like I said, with her friend, she hasn't really gone out. It was fun to go without her. Go with her, and then we also went with some other friends as well. So we had a good time. Afterwards, we went to IHOP with a couple of us, and it was just a good night overall. Um, and then besides that, really on Sunday, watched the Cowboy game. which is not horrible, bro. I was like watching it, I was like, why am I even watching this, bro? I literally took a nap during the middle of it. 'Cause I was tired from but the previous night. So I was like, you know what? I can spare it now. I'm not gonna miss much. Literally, I turned it back on, same score, so it's okay. But what about you? What are your updates? Talk about the Cowboy game a little bit more after yours.
Okay, so my updates. I'm trying to remember everything I did. I know Friday, Kayla went out with a friend, so I think I just stayed at home and I streamed. You guys caught that stream, you saw it. If you didn't, you can go check it out on my Facebook page. If you aren't following me, follow me. Um, Also, and then on Saturday, our friend Allie, she's on one of our previous episodes. Her husband had they had a baby shower for just the guys, and man, I went, bro. It was actually really fun. We had a really good time. It was like it was kind of unexpected because it's like first of all you never seen nothing like this done
Hmm.
before, and it
Yeah,
just turned out really well. It was really just a lot of guys having fun and cracking jokes and stuff like that, and just having a good time, cutting shit with everybody, and it just turned out amazing. Play some of the baby games, play like the um taste the baby food. Uh, what else? We did the emojis like children's books,
oh yeah.
so that was cool. And then there was like one more I want to say we did, but I can't remember what it is. But nonetheless, had a really good time. Head home, and I was supposed to be going to the club with Vic and them, but my lovely fiance decided she was having the time of her life with some friends, and she came home kind of late. So by the time she got home, I was just like, "Yeah, I'm already in bed and I'm ready to go to sleep." So
Yeah, and then you would have to deal with that line, bro.
yeah,
So
and I would have been really upset because I don't do lines. Well, I don't mind lines, but I would have been upset being in that line to get into another line and then being in the club for like 30 minutes and dealing with pushing and stuff. I would have been heated.
it's
Um,
funny too, because real quick, sorry, but some of our friends got there early, so they were just, they were up top, I guess, drinking and dancing, whatever they were doing. But the rest of us were just downstairs waiting.
and so yeah, I got to hear about all the fun everybody had the next in the morning, and then even Sunday I just chilled at home and played some games, and that was kind of my day. And here we are today. I got to watch the Cowboys game. I got to watch the Cowboys lose. Uh, and same as
How do
Vic.
you
I Go ahead.
how do you feel about like us losing that game? Do you really care? Because you're like we're
No,
already in the playoffs.
not at all. I
Do
didn't
you
care.
care about momentum at all, or
Not that game, bro. I felt like
they
it
didn't
was
care?
already a throwaway game anyway, and they saw how the game was going um with the
The Eagles?
Eagles and New York Giants, which the New York Giants almost came back at the very end.
Oh, did they?
Um,
How do you see?
yeah, it was like literally like 29-22 type thing. So it was a really close game. But I think they saw how that game was going, and I think at that moment it was just like I felt like it was a throwaway game. One, I feel like I almost in my head. This is my theory, right? This is my theory. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy because I'm a huge Cowboys fan. So my theory is that they played bad on purpose.
That crossed my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, I feel like we played bad on purpose to let the other teams think that, man, we're gonna go in here, we're just gonna play, to underestimate us and think they're gonna get the best of us. And then we get into that first game, and then bam, bam, bam. You know what I mean? Because it didn't make any sense to keep the starters in for as long as they did.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like that game, we already knew it wasn't important, so why not keep it in for the first half and then take them out to lower
Hmm.
injury? The game didn't mean anything to us, but they kept Dak in literally all game until the last like 4 minutes, and then threw in Cooper Rush.
Bro.
I was like, all right, we could have just, whatever. It just felt like, I don't know, it was too coincidental for me, and
Yeah, it was kind of like,
I feel like we were doing
something ain't
plays
right.
that obviously we wouldn't be doing. I feel like we were doing throwaway plays. Like, let's just see if we can get away with this type of thing.
I
Offensive
mean,
line,
that could have been the case too, where Kellen Moore was like, "Let me try this game plan, see kind of how it works out, because it's kind of not that important." and obviously, okay, it didn't work out that well, so throw that away, kind of
Exactly.
thing.
And so that's kind of
Um,
also how I saw it. So
also, we haven't lost any point during the season, 2 games back to back. So,
yeah. So
you know,
we'll see.
we about to
We about to go play Brady again,
shit,
unfortunately.
we can't lose any at all anymore in this.
Yeah, unfortunately. But well, it's just playoffs. You can't lose regardless.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we get our composure together, and this is gonna be. I feel like if any game is the game of the week, it's gonna be this one. Only because literally the first game, Dak told him like we're gonna see you again,
hmm
and it's like we're literally at the playoffs, and it's like we see you again. It's that rematch, and
You
let's see what
think
happens.
you think Brady's done after this year?
I think I'm hearing that some people are thinking that he has one more year. I feel like he might play again if just because he has nothing else to do. Um,
He divorced now.
his divorce, he probably needs something. Football is that thing to always kind of get it off his mind, get him out of his own mind, and if he can, I think he will. I've been seeing some speculations of people saying that is it Doug Patters? Not Doug. Saints.
Oh yes, the Saints.
Yeah, Saints old coach.
Oh, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. I don't know where I got Doug. Where I'm getting Doug Peterson from.
He's the Jaguars coach.
Jaguars. Yes, but Sean Payton saying something about him coming out of retirement and that there might,
Keep it up together.
that Tom Brady might come there. He has no clause to stay with the Buccaneers, so I can see it. Michael Thomas is they just restructured his contract also, so who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I can see him playing like one more year.
Think about that. Like, if, for whatever reason he does go back to the Saints, because Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers basically and pushed Jameis Winston out.
Yeah, and then he goes to the Saints and pushes
He
him out
goes to the
again.
Saints again. Which I feel like he had a quote where he's like, "Hey, I got replaced by one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time." Like, I don't take that as an insult, really.
Yeah, I
So,
can see that, but you still got replaced.
yeah,
That's somebody else. Is somebody else? Taking food out your family's mouth.
yeah, true.
Yeah. But we'll see. I just hope the best for this game, and we'll see how our Cowboys do against the Buccaneers.
hmm I see. Real quick, I guess how we both kind of missed this update, but we watched 2 episodes of Kaleidoscope together.
Yes. Did you finish it?
No, did you?
Yes.
Oh, well,
Did you
I'll
watch
finish it.
anything else?
No.
So you haven't watched any episodes.
No, well, I wasn't honestly. We didn't really talk about it. I wasn't too sure if I should watch any more episodes or not.
True. Yeah, that is true. I just didn't know when the next time y'all gonna be down here, and I didn't want to wait. So
Yeah, no, I feel you. Leslie didn't want to wait either. She was like, can we watch?" I was like, I don't know. I could have just texted you, but I didn't.
yeah, I don't know why you don't just reach out when you can.
You know.
Vic could be dying and be like, I don't want to bother Kristen.
You know, probably something to do with my childhood. I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's little brother
Maybe
syndrome.
talk to
I
a
understand.
therapist, figure this out. I'm just kidding.
Maybe we need to talk about it on the podcast, Vic. Family issues 101. Tell me about your child.
Sometimes being a new dad. I'm just kidding.
But
No, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah, but that's it. Yeah, Kaleidoscope is amazing. I finished it. And I think when you finish it, you'll be like, okay.
Yeah, I'll finish it by next Tuesday, and we can kind of talk about our different perspectives.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of watched some of the similar ones in the same order, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was watching it with Kayla, and she's so funny. So we're watching it, and Kayla's like, she's doing the thing that girlfriends always do, right? Hey, what's
Why
going
you do
on? Hey, who's that person? Hey, what's going on? I'm like, babe, I'm watching the same show you are. I do not know. I don't have the answers that you are seeking right now, and I won't until you find out. That's when I will find out. But obviously, that's not going to really stop the questions.
Nope.
But
They just keep coming.
keep coming. But love her to death. But great. It was a great show. I enjoyed it. When you finish it, we'll talk about like you said.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that brings us to our quick mentions. So last week, yeah, we talked about Damar Hamlin. He had to get resuscitated on the field. They performed CPR on him for a
Nine
good like
minutes.
eight, yeah, 9 minutes. Then he got sent to the hospital. Quick update on him. He's doing better. He's talking to the players. He's video chatting. He's watching the game.
He's been
I believe
released
he
from the
was released.
hospital.
Yeah, he was released from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing good, which is good. Which everyone wants to see. That's good. Um, so yeah, obviously football went on this weekend. I'm sure that was they gave him a lot of tributes. Everyone had that three on on their uniform. The three was highlighted on all the fields. But let's go to the Steeler game. So the Steelers, was this after a touchdown? Do you know?
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure because it looked like he was in the middle of the field when it happened. So I feel like it was maybe like a third down stop.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So Pittsburgh Steelers, Alex Highsmith celebrates sack on Cleveland Brown quarterback Deshaun Watson, and the celebration is basically um, someone performing CPR on Highsmith while he's on the ground. So basically, the performing CPR as a celebration the week after this whole thing happened with Damar Hamlin, and so social media is just going after them, talking about how it's classless. How could you do this just right after all that happened? Um, how do you feel about that?
Um, I understand. I think I think at the time the problem was that I they just weren't thinking about the situation that just happened.
Hmm.
I that's what I'm putting together at that moment. They weren't thinking about it. I think it's a traditional. It's not a new celebration. They've done that celebration plenty of times before. From people acting like they died and they just brought back to life because they just made a huge tackle or something like that. But I think it was just a very time like they just didn't think about it.
Yeah, yeah, because like you mentioned, it's not a new celebration. Even I saw like a TikTok of someone playing Madden, and that's one of the celebrations on there.
Literally,
So it's like it's a it's just a celebration people do from time to time. Let's see some of the comments about the celebration says, I know I didn't just see a Steelers player giving CPR to Alex Highsmith on a sack celebration. Or wow, Steelers really doing a CPR celebration on Alex Highsmith when all around the NFL everyone else is sending love and prayers this week. You should be ashamed. Um, so yeah, I mean, obviously you can see how people are gonna react to it. Kind of understandable. I get what you're also saying too, where it's not like he did the celebration because that happened last week. He probably, I feel like a lot of times these athletes, I feel like they kind of practice these celebrations of like, okay, if this happens, I'm gonna do this, or next time I get a
mm-hmm.
sack, this is a celebration I'm gonna do, and you kind of tell people around you so they can kind of,
Participate.
uh, yeah. So it's ill-timed for sure. Uh, would you say it?
I really just say they got caught in the moment. That's what it felt like to me. They just got caught in the moment.
Hmm. Um, but yeah, I also saw like kind of going along with this. There was the Packer player during the Lions game.
Mm-hmm.
He like shoved the trainer. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so like basically the Lions trainers run on the field kind of help out and kind of, you know, you
Oh,
don't want
okay.
to
Yes,
injury.
I did. Like he kind of shoved him, and then like the trainer turned around. I was like about to hit him type thing.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. That trainer was not able to play no games.
right. And I saw something because if you watch the video, then another Packer player kind of comes to the guy's defense, kind of like backing him up. Like someone's like, why does the guy come for backup? What's this 50-year-old trainer gonna do to this football player? But yeah, yeah, it's crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah, DeMar Hamlin's doing better. Celebrations, ill times. Everyone's also kind of speaking of football, not to keep going on about football, but if you ever thought football was scripted, the Bills game it made you feel that way because literally the first play
It's a run
since the
back.
incident was a kickoff return for a touchdown. I was like, bro,
Like really.
It's like, I don't know. How do you feel about that? You feel like,
I definitely feel like that was like one of those touchdowns they just gave him because of the situation. But I wouldn't done it.
mhm.
But at the same time, I feel like they solidified their spot as well. Aren't they like the number one seed?
The number two,
Number
I think
two?
if everything played out, well, you say they would have lost to the Bengals anyways, but
They would have lost to the Bengals.
it's hypothetically if they won, I think they would have been number one seed if they won out.
They would
Uh,
they wouldn't have
but
won that game. I apologize, Vic. I know how much you love your Bills, but literally they were about to score again. and, it was already like 10-3. It was like they weren't gonna. Yeah,
anywho,
no.
yeah, that's just a little quick mention about the Steelers. I mean, ain't nobody really likes the Steelers anyway, so
Yeah,
I'm just
I can't care less about the Steelers. But
not.
on top of with the Steelers though, the coach he's never had a losing season since he started. Even this season, I think they're like 9-8, which technically still
Mhm.
winning. So they didn't make the playoffs, but
Right.
still
But
winning
hey,
record.
that's still impressive. I just see somewhere else almost like I love how people always say that, but they don't talk about how he hasn't won a playoff game since like 2018 or something like
Yeah.
that.
But at least he
I
still won a
know.
playoff game.
But yeah, getting the playoffs is still an accomplishment. So props to him. He's a really good coach.
He is.
Like any interviews I've seen of him, he's definitely a coach I would trade for in a heartbeat for Mike McCarthy.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Mike,
So,
most definitely. Drop the Mike McCarthy.
but I mean, honestly, there's a lot of coaches I would trade for him, but we're not gonna get into that.
Doug Peterson, Andy Reid, it's
Sean
like
Payton,
Sean Payton. They're really trying to get Sean Payton in. That man
I
has to be
know.
afraid of his job for real. When everybody was saying Sean Payton should come, I would be afraid for my job too. I ain't gonna
Right, especially in this economy. No, but anyways, I guess going on to our next story,
lie. First story, technically,
our first story, technically. Let's talk about Kristen's favorite thing, porn.
yes. ah,
So, most males, I'd say probably start watching porn before 18. Wouldn't you say?
yeah. I
They're
thought
probably
you were
around that.
asking me like, when did I start? I was like,
And when I came out the womb, nah, just playing. But yeah, so there's actually a new law in Louisiana where they're gonna be requiring that you show um that you provide the government with proof with your ID showing that you're over the age of 18 before you're allowed on these websites. Just kind of reading the story a little bit. The porn industry has been around for a while, and in today's digital age, business is booming. Um, it's the someone's quoting pornography is destroying our children, blah blah blah. Uh,
I go blah blah blah.
I
That's
bet.
wild.
All right, let me read you why they're doing this, I guess. Pornography is destroying our children and they're getting unlimited access to it on the internet. And so the pornography companies aren't going to be responsible. I thought we need to go ahead and hold them accountable. Because, I think technically you are supposed to be over the age of 18 because you're supposed to, like, I don't know,
Man, you're
right?
supposed to be over the age of 18 and use Facebook.
So according to Shaligo, which I guess is um one of the people for the law. The website would verify someone's age in collaboration with LA Wallet. So if you plan on using these sites in the future, you may want to download the app. So yeah, from the story I saw on TikTok of talking about this, it kind of directs you to like a third-party website or government website whenever you click the link, and then you think you upload your driver's license or ID or whatever, and then they're not obviously they're not allowed like to keep your record and be like, this is how many times you visited this year. Your wrap at the end of the year.
Wrap up. Huh.
This was your favorite category. No, let's see. It will be the website's responsibility to ensure age verification is required when accessing the site in Louisiana. And of course, there will be consequences for those who fail to follow the law. Someone could sue on behalf of the children. They can sue if children are getting access to pornography, so it would be up to the user to sue the company for not verifying age first. She said problems like depression, erectile dysfunction, lack of motivation, and fatigue can be directly linked to porn. She also said to prevent these issues from occurring at younger age, the law is imperative. So you've been feeling depressed lately, Kristen?
That's hilarious. I've been feeling fatigued, bro. Um, that's wild. Imagine being like, man, I'm tired. And it's like, why are you tired? I watched so much porn today.
Uh,
Hmm.
well, let me just say this last thing real quick. There is legislation in Washington that they're trying to implement this on a national level. So this Louisiana is the first state. So how do you feel about it, and how do you see that it's going to expand to other states, or do you think it should, or what's your opinion?
Shit ain't gonna expand to Texas. Um,
You don't
hmm,
think so?
no. Texas is the we're against everything that y'all do. It's like state. We're gonna be either last or we won't participate. Um, how do I feel about this? So the way I feel, first of all, Louisiana has a lot of other things they need to worry about than porn. They got a lot of corruption in their government. They need to fix their roads. They got a whole bunch of stuff they need to be worried about. Um, I don't know. I just feel like it's so much work. um, but I get it. Obviously you want to limit how much access kids have and stuff like that. But man, like if people want it, they're gonna find a way. Um,
Back to the magazine.
I don't know about back to the magazine, but there are so many other ways to access these things other than going on websites, and people are going to find it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think it's a good system in a way, as like trying to make sure people who are not of the age are watching. Um, but I don't know. Personally, it feels like a lot. Imagine every time you're just like every time somebody's trying to like hop on Pornhub, they're like, "Oh, you gotta scan your ID, you gotta open, you gotta do this, you gotta do this," and it's like by the time you're just not in the mood, and maybe that's what they're trying to
Right?
do. Maybe that's what they're trying to do is get people out of the mood. Like we're gonna give you all these steps you gotta do before we can even allow you access, and and I feel like they have to get like it's more to it than just okay porn sites. I feel like the porn sites itself have to agree, and
Hmm.
which I don't think they care as much as the government does. As long as they're getting views and watches and stuff, that's money generated for them. um,
Hmm.
Now of course you don't want little kids watching stuff, but
Yeah, I think we can all,
yeah,
companies, everyone can agree on that.
of course. But I think even though companies don't want to, I don't think they care, unfortunately.
No, I
Like
agree with you saying.
Pornhub is not staying up late at night wondering if kids are watching their porn. They're up late at night just like, hey, counting all the views and counting their money from all the porn people are watching. So it's one of those things that I can see why they're doing it, but you know, I just feel like there's a lot of other things that are a lot more important. But I can see why she's into it. All right, I think it's a woman. Um,
Yes.
and why
Mhm.
she's into it because I think she is uh, a nurse or a doctor, and she says she sees a lot of patients that struggle with sex addiction. So
Hmm.
I can see why she's an advocate for this for sure.
No, I totally understand. I don't kind of see it kind of expanding, like you said. At least not anytime in the near future. I get where she's coming from. I do.
And what stops you from changing your location? Like, is it something that's location based? Like, oh, now you're in
I
Louisiana.
guess.
Like, what if you're watching porn in
Right.
Texas crossing into the Louisiana border? Like, does it just cut off? And you're like, you're in Louisiana now. You're in Louisiana now. You got to put an ID verification. Like,
Right. Or does like I don't know. That's weird, crazy.
if I turned off my location, does it just not know that I'm here and I can do what I want?
I
Or
don't.
download a VPN and say you're in a different location and then still get access to your porn. Now I don't think kids are. thinking like that though. But I'm just saying, like, hey, kids are getting smart these days. But
True, honestly. Um, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like they're gonna find it regardless. I mean, if you want, like, you kind of say, well, at least it's like one barrier, makes it less
accessible.
yeah, and maybe that kind of deters the kids away from like even trying to jump through all the hoops. But honestly, I feel like there's not that many hoops, but also they're younger, so maybe they're not thinking that way. Like VPN stuff like that. Um, so it's kind of interesting. I wonder, like, it'd be kind of interesting. Well, I don't want to say interesting. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like, I wonder how successful they're really gonna be is one in
Hmm.
stopping these kids.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna find out.
Hmm.
Um, but hey, that's crazy. Well, you have anything else to say about that?
No.
I think the number what I'm gonna end off on that part is I think it all starts with the parents. Of course, limiting your child watching, obviously going into these pornographic sites and stuff. You can't save everybody from everything. I know even when I was in my younger days, obviously you can like you can't watch your kids 24/7. But
Hmm.
just letting them understand that hey, this is wrong. And you shouldn't be doing this. But hey, teach his own. On to our next story. Our next and final story, unfortunately, because we went on about our J. Cole. Our next story has to do with this elderly man who had an antique World War One explosive lodged into his rectum, and it prompts bomb scare evacuation of hospital. This man had a bomb in his butt. I need you guys to understand that. So it says an elderly French man who had an antique World War One bomb lodged in his rectum prompted a bomb scare and evacuation of a hospital in southern France, according to local records. On Saturday, the 88-year-old, who is not publicly named, visited hospital
I don't
Moose,
blame
right, Moose in Toulon, to have an 8-inch long artillery shell removed from his body, sparking ensuing panic as hospital officials warned the bomb disposal personnel. It says an emergency occurred from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. on Saturday evening that required the intervention of a bomb disposal personnel, the evacuation of adult and pediatric emergency, as well as the diversion of incoming emergencies. It says the spokesperson went on to say, "We had to manage the risk in a reactive framework. When in doubt, we took all the precautions." It says bomb disposal experts ultimately found that there was a very little possibility that the shell would explode inside the man, telling hospital personnel that it was a collector's item from an outlet. That's wild. it, it says the unnamed senior citizen. Okay, it was just talking about how he had the shell in his butt.
it.
It says they reassured us by telling us that it was a collector's items from the First World War. And it says then did the doctors begin removing the object, which measures 2 inches wide and 8 inches long. It says the doctors believe the man inserted antique explosive in his anus for sexual pleasure. Hey man, to each his own. If that's what you're into, I guess probably not bombs. There's plenty of things you can stick up your butt. Uh, yeah, it says doctors believe the patient had inserted the shell for his sexual pleasure, which one adding, we are used to finding unusual objects, but never a shell.
Hmm.
It says an apple, a mango, an apple, a mango, or even a can of shaving foam. Um, we are used to finding unusual objects inserted where they shouldn't be. It says the man is now good health and is expected to make a full recovery, according to the hospital. And yeah, that's kind of the story. So Vic, what are you thinking, man? You putting up shells? You're gonna put up a bomb up your butt?
First of all, ain't nothing going on. Just want to make that clear.
He said not a hand, not tissue paper, no nothing.
Right.
Booty hole is just
Oh.
30. I'm just
Um, it's kind of crazy because this guy's 88 doing this. Like
hmm
he says, I ain't got anything else to do. Might as well stick this on my butt.
I don't know if that's how that goes. I don't got anything else to do.
I mean, because I don't know, he's 88 and
Goddamn
what was
88.
World War One? Was that like past 88 years ago?
What'd you say? World War One?
Yeah,
I definitely think it's past 80 years ago.
yeah, yeah, I think so.
Because it's an
Oh,
antique.
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, true. So I'm trying to figure out like I guess he was into like memorabilia from like wars and stuff like that. Uh, which is why he chose this item. I'm assuming.
You think he chose it
Uh,
because the memorabilia of it? I feel like he chose it because of the size.
yeah, but yeah, true. But he's also clearly into this stuff because he has it. Like this is not something that everyone has. So I wonder. I don't know.
Obviously, I don't know. I just don't see. I feel like he was just into like sticking stuff up his butt, and it was just
So,
like this is probably the biggest item he had, and he was like, "Let me try."
yeah,
And
hey, you know that
it, and wildly, he probably done it plenty of times before, and it probably just never got this far, like lodged.
it looks all like from the picture, it looks like rusty and shit like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like bro, at least like why? Like go buy something or something.
Victor,
It
I'll
is
give
kind of
you.
crazy,
A,
like how doctors talk about like that. Like there's so many stuff that they find that people
oh yeah,
stick
lodge
up
up
there.
them. Yeah,
Well, I just fell on it, or
I just fell on it. I just fell on it with my butthole open.
I just I happened to be naked at the time.
Yeah,
Just got out of the shower,
I was like, oh, this is land perfectly on this item.
But I mean, honestly, good thing it wasn't an actual um
Bomb.
bomb. Like that would have
Uh,
been crazy.
not an active bomb, at least.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm sure the guy knew that dude wasn't active.
I don't know. Still sticking a bomb up your butt is pretty, pretty hectic.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I wouldn't
recommend it.
advise it.
I definitely wouldn't recommend it. Stick something up there. I don't know why you use an old bomb because you never know. It could have been active and it could just maybe he was just really really fascinated with World War One.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he wanted history. He wanted to be part of history, literally.
I could feel the rust in the.
I can feel the war, and I can feel you know, be one with history.
He definitely became one with it.
One in it. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of all I have to say. You got anything else to add about that story, Vic?
No, just I was gonna say don't stick anything up your butt, but to each their own.
Hey, you stick something up your butt, make sure you can get it out. But other than that, if you got any last remarks,
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at nowhearmeout.kv.
KV,
Go ahead and follow us, or go ahead and email us at nowhearmeout.kv
KV,
at gmail.com. Go ahead and subscribe on that YouTube. Chris and Vic parentheses NHMO.
NHMO,
Go ahead and give us 5 stars on iTunes.
5 stars.
And go ahead and follow me on TikTok at weirdvic_flips and follow us on TikTok at Now Hear Me Out Podcast. And make sure to check out our online shop, nowhearmeout.myspreadshop.com.
Yep. And you guys can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitch if you're not following already at Beast Mode Chris, where the E's are threes. That's Beast Mode Chris, where the E's are threes. Also follow me on my Facebook. If you're not following me, it's just regular Kristen Moore. But other than that, that's all I really have to say. We appreciate you guys tuning in and checking us out. Like always, we love you guys. And if you haven't hit the like, subscribe button, please do. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it on your page. I know a lot of you guys are on social media. Please just share it. And hey, that's the only way we can keep growing is if you guys help us. And we really appreciate it. That's all I can really say. Other than that, we are out of here, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.